It's a really common question where people want to know, how is it that the adjustment's going to work, and how does it work if you're not, crunching bones or pushing things back into place? And what's really the whole point? Why is this different from if I'm going to see the physiotherapist or just doing something that my GP said? And there is no such thing as a one perfect adjustment that's going to be true for everybody. See, if that was the case, then everybody who does chiropractic or any other kind of physical healthcare work or manual medicine, they would be getting 100% results with the exact same technique or methodology, and everybody would be doing it. So there would be no reason for the variability. And so what this points at and what this suggests is that there is an internal factor that is ultimately at play here. And that these individualized differences, we can't always see these on the inside. It's then a matter of finding out what is the most appropriate thing that an individual may need so that they can ultimately reach their health goals. And I say this to my clients all the time, push come to shove, at the end of the day, who do you think knows more about how your body works? Is it me, the doctor, with my educated brilliance and my fancy degrees and my university debts? Or is it the wisdom that's in your own body that has been on the job, keeping you alive and well since before you were born? I would say it's the second one. And so that being the case, the role of the doctor then is to find out what is it that you and what that force needs so that you can be as alive and well as possible. The same thing then goes when we're actually looking to achieve and to provide a chiropractic adjustment. We are not shoving things into place so that they can stay there, because the reality is that's not going to happen anyway. The joints of your body, they're designed to move. See, unlike if you have a cavity or you need a crown on your teeth, and yes, there are milli differences and tiny movements that do occur even with the teeth. But major point of difference is, by and large, your teeth are not designed to move. And so it is a simple thing where you just do one thing, it's fixed forever. However, when you're dealing with conditions of the spine, and because spine is designed to move, it's very rare that things are ever going to be staying 100%. So we are not shoving things back where they stay there forever. What we are actually looking to do is we're looking to provide the right kind of information at just the right angle, so that essentially that internal healing force that uses your body's own muscles to be able to keep and hold things into normal alignment and under a normal range of motion and what's called a segmental control. That's what we're looking to achieve with a chiropractic adjustment. And so it does seem, a little bit, silly sometimes, but what I'll do is I will, have something, like the little ball right here. And what we say is to say, okay, on this side here, I am going to be the doctor who is doing the thrust, the impulse with my hand. And then you over here are going to be the patient, and you're going to be the area or the vertebra that we're looking to adjust. And so what we do is we say, okay, catch. That's what happens. That's what happens with the adjustment. That is the best adjustment that can ever happen. That's how it ultimately works. So what happened right here? This was not a case where what I did as the doctor was push things, put them, slam them into your hand, and then said, hold on to that now forever. That's not the way that it works. Instead, what we did is we put the impulse in so that your body was able to catch that force. And this is one of the key differences in particular, with the line of work that we do, is we're not interested in just putting generic force into the body. No, what we are interested in doing is measuring the exact location, direction, degree, so that you can pass that force with just the right amount to just the right spot so that your body can easily catch it. So sometimes people are wondering, how is it something that light can make the difference? Is because if it's just the right amount, however light it might be, if it's in the right location, the right direction, and the right needs so that your body can catch it, this is good. We don't have to be crunching, slamming things into place all of the time, because what that would be the equivalent of, that would be the equivalent of me trying to throw that in as hard as possible and expecting you to catch it. Or if I'm not being meticulous enough, if I am not taking your individual needs into account and saying that all we need to do is just get a little bit of mobility and a little bit of movement, do a little bit here and I do a little bit here, well, that would be the equivalent of then throwing the ball the completely wrong way and then expecting you to catch it. And yes, you might be able to lunge out and get it from different angles. However, there's only so far that your hand is going to be able to move in order to get a hold of it. And when your body does get a hold of it, what is it going to do? It's going to hold it and it's going to protect it. Not unlike, let's say, okay, we're not playing the game with the silly little ball, but let's say that we are passing back and forth a solid gold coin. Well, if I tell you this is a solid gold coin, and if I tell you what it is worth, then suddenly you're going to hold on to it and you're going to protect it a lot closer. And this is what your body does when we make the right kind of adjustment, particularly in the upper part of the neck, because of how this influences and how this affects brainstem function and the flow of communication between the body and the brain so that everything is able to work the way that it can. If there's been some kind of a mechanical issue there that is locked out of a position where, despite your body's best efforts, you can't stretch it on its own because it just keeps coming back, it's not going away. There's no amount of exercise that's solving it. You're doing the right kinds of thing with your physical movements. You're doing the right things with your nutrition. You're doing the right things with your sleep. You're doing all the right things, but you're not getting the outcome. It's because very likely something that you want is just outside of your reach. And so what you need is you need somebody to then be able to say, okay, let's give you what you need so that you can catch it, hold on to it. And then what your body does is realize this is precious. We need to protect this. We need to be able to make sure that we don't lose this again. And what will happen then is your muscles are going to start making shifts and changes in that local area to hold on to that. And sometimes it can be a little bit sore, or sometimes you can feel that there's a bit of shuffling that's going on through the rest of your body. But this is a good thing. Why is this? This is what we in chiropractic sometimes refer to as the innate adjustment. It's the concept, it's the idea that even though the chiropractor might be the one who applies the external force, that is not the adjustment itself. The adjustment occurs when your own body is doing the fine-tuning movements to be able to keep and maintain control of where things actually should be. Because if your body then is able to heal and it's able to maintain control, well, guess what? Even though your body and your spine will continue to move at different angles, as it is designed to do, your body should be able to maintain control of that. So it starts to go a little bit this way, but it's able to pull it back. When before, if it started going the wrong way, it would just simply blow out and you'd be having all kinds of different issues. Now, granted, yes, especially in the beginning of, starting care, if you've had a significant enough injury, or if that injury has not been properly attended to for years or even decades, as much as we may want one pass of the ball and your body holds it and protects it forever, well, it may accidentally lose control of it. It may not be able to hold it or withstand it against the forces of time, gravity, stress, and the things that are continuously going on in your day-to-day life. However, over a period of time, so working with your healthcare practitioner and both them doing the work that they need to do to help making sure that everything in your body is aligning, that it's moving the right way, but that you are also doing the right things, not doing the wrong things that can have the potential to continuously stir things up. What that does is that gives you the opportunity to actually heal. It gives you the opportunity for those muscles to start to get stronger. As those muscles get stronger, you start to become capable of doing more things the way that you used to be able to do. You may not be able to undo your chronological age, but you can undo your biological age. Within limitations of time and matter, there are certain, things, injuries and damage that we can't necessarily undo. We can't go back in time, but we can nevertheless heal. And healing happens in a moment. Now, in the same breath, it means that it can take time for it to manifest physically through the body. But when it's clear that you start going in the right direction, that you are getting stronger, you are getting better, you are moving towards health, this is when that initial work, that initial investment is ultimately going to be paying off for you. So just as we're finishing up on, this little conversation right here, just want to give you an appreciation here that it's not actually the chiropractor who does the adjustment. What the chiropractor's role is to be as precise, as specific as they can. And they're offering something in a way that is going to be different from others out there. They're not prescribing you the same kinds of exercises or the same kinds of stretches, which is the forte of physiotherapists. And they're not necessarily working the exact same way as an osteopath or an acupuncturist or a massage therapist would be either. These are all really good, really important things. But for them to work as well as they possibly can, what we really want, what we really need, is to have your body free, strong, and being able to move the way that it is supposed to. So how do we do that? We find where is it that things are not quite moving and aligning the way that it should be. We give that little bit of force, just like that, the right amount in the right place at the right time, and then let your body do the rest of the work that it needs to do after to be able to function the way that it is designed naturally to be able to heal itself. And then in that space, doing the other things and working with your other people, this is what ultimately allows people to take that step forward to be their own healer, and ultimately then to go forth to live life at their true fullest potential.